Welcome to the Trend Detection Podcast powered by Siemens.
What do you think the current market appetite is for predictive maintenance in the food and beverage industry?
I believe there's a great deal of opportunity. Many of the companies are trying to go through sustainability efforts. So both from environmental impact, but also in the way that they're sourcing ingredients and those types of things. So predictive maintenance from a sustainability perspective is a great addition. If your equipment's not performing and behaving the way that it's supposed to and up to standards, then you need to know about that, and you can go fix a problem before an environmental situation happens. And also dovetails into the energy consumption. So bad actors consume more energy. So being able to catch those issues ahead of time is also a great opportunity. So that's one area of focus. Two, high demands require that you have good capacity to meet your customer demands from a product perspective. So you can't do that if your equipment is consistently down or you're having problems with unplanned downtime. And third, bad actors also impact the quality of the products that you're producing. So over baking something, for example, can have quality issues that then turn around and hurt you in the marketplace. So that brand recognition, being able to deliver the way that you want, all of those can be encouraged and supported using predictive maintenance.
Yeah, now 100%. That's a brilliant answer. Thank you so much. That's a really good summary. It's really interesting to see kind of the appetite in different industries. Because I think obviously each industry has its own specific needs. So it's really interesting to see how the platform itself can cater to each industry and yet their needs at the moment. So thank you for answering that. So then my second question is probably similar to what I've just asked, but what do you think for the food and beverage industry? What do you think are the benefits that they hope to gain from using predictive maintenance? What would you say are the specific benefits? If you give a couple of examples of what they could hope to gain from deploying predictive maintenance.
So in the food and beverage industry, when you're plagued with problems of unplanned downtime, it can have a significant impact on the materials. As you can imagine, once you start the process, you may have a window of time to be able to produce the product. Otherwise, you get degradation in the ingredients. You can have situations where unplanned downtime, if you're in the middle of that production, depending on the material that you're working with, can gum up the machines, which then requires additional cleaning and sanitation because you are working in a sanitized environment many times in the food and beverage industry. Plus, you have the additional cost potentially of either having a third party come and pick up the waste, of those ingredients. It can impact the stock of those ingredients that you may have. That again can have a negative impact on capacity and the ability to meet your customers' orders and demands. So those are just a few small components of, the potential of where predictive maintenance, if you have the ability to say in 2 weeks, we need to take this line down, that gives you the ability to schedule the maintenance. It gives you the ability to schedule within the production when is the best time to take the system down. It also allows you to start understanding the inventory of spare parts and what you should really have on the shelf, what can be delivered overnight versus what has delivery of weeks or months lead time, especially in the supply chain environment that we're in. That can be very important. And then one other aspect is predictive maintenance really helps you have a better understanding of what maintenance needs to be performed and when, which helps you have a better preventative maintenance schedule because you still need to change oil on a regular basis. But if you can do it with data-driven information, maybe you can go from 3 months to every 4 months. So that reduces the safety risk to your employees. The fewer times you have to open up a piece of equipment or walk on a scaffold, the better it is for your maintenance staff. It reduces the consumables. So if you're changing oil, 3 times a year versus 4 times, it's a money saving, financial stability for a company from that perspective.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's a great answer. Thank you so much. And have you found kind of with your clients and your customers, have they been more susceptible to wanting to do a pilot run, or have you felt like they're a bit resistant to adopting a scalable approach? So are they wanting to kind of just test it on a few machines and test it at that, or do you feel like some of them have been a little bit more understanding and wanting to kind of deploy the platform in a scalable way? Be interesting to just hear your take on that.
I think oftentimes they start with the idea that they want a scalable system, especially some of the larger corporations that have plants, around the United States, around the Americas, and all the way around the globe, having a solution that can scale easily without additional staff, without having to hire and or train data scientists to be able to deploy a solution like this is really important to organizations. But with that being said, the food and beverage industry is, I think, similar to a lot of other industries that, show me, prove it to me, and then we'll scale. Some companies are more forward thinking in adopting technology and embracing, the industry 4.0, 5.0, concepts and those types of things. So it is somewhat dependent on a company's culture and their openness to embrace and really leverage technology. But even within those kind of cultures, let's start with a plant, let's get the processes and the information kind of settled, and then we'll take it to other locations. So
Yeah. No, thank you again. That's a great answer. So next question. So just from your perspective, what do you think a client needs to do to ensure a successful predictive maintenance deployment? So would you give advice on kind of making sure that the data is prepped, for example, just removing data silos, cleansing data? Have you got any kind of secret tips or advice that would be good for a prospective customer or client?
Oftentimes it starts with, take it in a phased approach. Start, on the smaller sale side. Don't try to, boil the ocean, as the old saying goes, because it is a large project to take on. And so some of the advice is find a champion within your organization that believes in the concept, believes in the technology and what it can bring to an organization, so that they can promote the benefits as they start to come in when those successes happen. So, proof that the system brings the value that we've talked about to start with. 2 is education. People are not comfortable with systems that they don't know why they're using it. They don't know how to use it. They'll revert back to the old ways because they have a job to get done. We hope to make that job better, more efficient, easier, more straightforward. But if you don't train somebody how to use a system, they're going to go back to the old ways because they need to do their work. And then the other one, yes, is there is a large component on the side of the technology that you have available. And many of these organizations have some plants that have older technology that you need to bring up to a certain level, versus, a brand new plant that was just built that has all of the latest bells and whistles. And you can get started with a predictive maintenance system if you have systems in place like data historians that are capturing that real-time data that our system needs to leverage. So companies that don't even have a system or something similar in place have more work to do to get ready to take advantage of a platform like Senseye. But with that being said, there's still ways to get started. So don't ever not get started.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great answers. So would you say, even some companies who obviously aren't in the most kind of prepared situation in terms of data, so they're not having all the data in like a organized system, it doesn't mean that they can't reach out, that the support from the Siemens team obviously working on Senseye Predictive Maintenance is still there. So it's it's not a deterrent factor. They can still reach out and we can still help them with that and make sure that all their data and things can be prepped before the initial deployment.
Yeah, we have a multitude of avenues that we can take to get the data in the right format. We just have to have those great conversations with our customers about meeting them where they're at. So doing an analysis of what their systems, what their equipment is capable of today, and let's map out a path forward to get us where we want to go. Maybe there's some sensors that we need to add. Maybe you do need to go out and get one of those other types of systems. We also have Siemens Insight Hub, that can be used in concert with Senseye. So there's many avenues that we can take and just get a company prepared to move forward. You also take a look at the different plants and deciding where's a good place to start. Do we want to start with an older facility and help it get up to speed with some of the newer plants, or do we start with a plant that has some of the technology to prove out some of the concepts of predictive maintenance? So those are discussions that we have with our customers to help get a system like this successful to on the first pass.
No, it sounds great. Thank you, Kelly. That's really helpful. Yes, so I think that's pretty much everything on my side. Thank you so much for those answers were super detailed. I did have a couple more questions, but you actually answered those within your other answers. So I don't want to take up so much more of your time, so I'll stop recording now, and then we can have a little chat.
I know I ended up shoving probably multiple things. So if you want to ask a question and get more of the 30-second clip, I mean, I think we scheduled a half an hour, so up to you.
Sure. Again, well, I've got to think on the spot now, so I'll put you on the spot for 15 minutes as my go. But this might be, again, please don't feel like you need to have anything prepared. We can edit things out. But how do you feel kind of the sales team around the product Senseye Predictive Maintenance is different to other predictive maintenance products? Like the service you provide, how do you think you differ from other teams and other products?
I think first the approach of trying to meet the customer where they're at and being able to say, let's take advantage of the data that you already do have and not come in with the assumption that you need a whole bunch of other systems to get started. With our system, you have the ability to start getting quality predictions with oftentimes information that's already available inside of the PLCs and control systems, and we don't necessarily have to add a whole lot of hardware in order to do so. The second portion of it is the fact that our models are embedded inside of our environment, and we don't require that our customers go out and spend months or longer on developing the models themselves. So most of our customers, if not all of them, none of them have had to hire more staff or train their staff in different ways in order to use our software. It's very geared towards the maintenance team and making them, effective in how they perform their job functions.
Please like and subscribe on all major podcast channels. And to find out more about Senseye Predictive Maintenance, go to Siemens.com.